So there's been a lot of conversation out there about crossplay, cross progression, cross save, anything you want to call it. But there's been one developer that's come out recently that said that he believes this will be more destructive towards smaller multiplayer developers and games than anything else. So let's talk about it. So I just stumbled across this article called Crossplay for PS5 and next Xbox may leave less room for smaller games to find an audience. This was talked about by 9 Dot Studio CEO Guillaume, who is the lead developer on the upcoming open world RPG Outworld. This is what he had to say. While I think it's nice for players to be able to play together no matter the platform, I predict that this will make big games bigger and leave even less room for smaller games to find their audience. There can only be so many multiplayer games that are highly active at the same time due to the network effect. If all platforms share the same ecosystem, the number of commercially viable multiplayer games might diminish. So let's just unpack what he has to say there. And to a point, he's absolutely right. The more you give people a chance to play with more of their friends on different platforms, the chances of those people not buying newer games, instead they might just buy the same game all over again. I am a very big component of games like Destiny, Anthem, Division, even Diablo, to have this type of system in place where you buy the game on that platform, you can take your progress and go over to that system and play with all of your different friends, or just play over there with people you never played with before. That is something that I would love to happen, and he is absolutely right, because if this was to happen, I can definitely see smaller games being impacted the most. I can go out and buy Destiny, I can go out and buy Division and play it to my heart content. We already put thousands of hours on these games on one singular platform, but if we actually had the ability to take these games and just buy it again on another platform, have all of our progress carry over, we can actually engage with more of that community, and it kind of keeps you centralized with those people that you like to play with on a continuous basis. And guess what? That means you buy less games. Now that keeps the engagement numbers up for the game that you're playing, and we all know that some of these companies really like to talk about engagement because that shows the health of the game and how many people are actually logging in on a day-to-day basis and keeping people more in that ecosystem. Now, I know a lot of smaller developers do have this fear. How could you not? If they allow crossplay to go through like this, it's a chance that your game might just get passed by a lot of people that are enjoying games like Apex Legends. That game is taking over right now. But Fortnite was able to do it. People still went out and bought games. You know, it's not the only game that people play, but I can see a future where if we have so many of these games, or every game has this type of model, that those smaller games will get left behind. But also, every game's not really built to have crossplay in it. We're in a generation of battle royale and looter shooters, and all of those games really depend on a player base to keep them alive. This isn't any speculation, this is fact. When a game like Division or a game like Destiny or even Anthem or Fortnite drops in the player count or just engagement overall, you see all types of news outlets and media outlets dropping articles talking about videos. Is this the end of this game? People have been trying to say Destiny's been dead for a long time now, just because it's not at that all-time high of 13 million players that bought the game day one. It usually sits around 1 to 1.5. High is usually around 2 million people on a day-to-day engagement level. So this is something that's big for bigger games, and yes, it can definitely make a game bigger, but I don't want them to not do it with the idea that they're afraid that this will just squash the little guy. The little guy, if their game is good, will get some type of love. Now, it may not be as much love as they want, but trust me, it's a reason you're the little guy. You have to hope for lightning in a bottle for these other gamers to drop the games that they love playing on a day-to-day basis to try your game out. And if more people do that, then your game will become a hit. You'll have a game like Cuphead that's just, Cuphead's probably a bad example because they marketed the crap out of that, so everybody knew that game was coming. And honestly, maybe it does just come down to marketing. If you are in this type of world where multiplayer games are being being dominated just because of the overall saturation of crossplay in them. Maybe you just need to do even more marketing to put your game in front of more gamers. I think this is going to be the number one thing we're going to see in the next generation, because we know Sony has made a living off of marketing games this generation. The reason they won, on top of just the debacle that Microsoft did in 2013, is just market their games in a very impactful way, painting a Spider-Man train inside the subway and God of War being on the NBA court during an NBA game. They did all types of little things that just make that game or make that system or make their product just stand out overall. So those are my thoughts on this. Like I said, I think the guy is absolutely right. This is something that smaller developers have to worry about, but that doesn't mean I don't want it to happen, because there's too many games out there that I like to play and too many people to play them with, and the player bases for these games need to be as strong as ever if we want to see these games continue. It's your boy Gaming Forte. If you like the video, hit that like button, subscribe to the video for more content, or hit that notification bell, let you know the next time one of my videos go live. I'll talk to you in the next video. Peace.